Have you ever wondered how humanity came to dominate the world? How did this spread across continents, adapted to vastly different environments and creating the diverse cultures we see today? Stay tuned because in this video we are going to explore one of the most fascinating journeys in human history, the migration of our ancestors from Africa to every other corner of the planet. Thanks to advancements in genetics, archaeology, and anthropology, we are now uncovering the secrets of our past like never before. The story of human migration begins in Africa. Based on genetic and fossil evidence, scientists believe that all modern humans or Homo sapiens originated in Africa around 200,000 to 300,000 years ago. For tens of thousands of years, our ancestors lived in small groups as hunter-gatherers, moving across the continent in search of food and shelter. However, something remarkable happened around 60,000 to 70,000 years ago. A group of early humans left Africa and began a journey that would lead them to populate the entire world. This great migration is often referred to as the out of Africa theory, and it is supported by genetic studies that trace the lineage of modern populations back to a common African ancestry. One of the key pieces of evidence comes from mitochondrial DNA, which is passed down from mothers to their children. By analyzing variations in mitochondrial DNA across different populations, scientists have been able to map out the routes that our ancestors took as they spread across the globe. One of the earliest migration routes led our ancestors across the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a narrow passage between the present-day Ethiopia and Yemen. From there, they moved along the southern coast of Asia and eventually Australia. Genetic evidence suggests that the ancestors of indigenous Australians and Papuans branched off from this migration wave around 50,000 years ago, making them some of the oldest continuous populations outside of Africa. Meanwhile, other groups moved northward into the Middle East. From there, they split into different directions. Some traveled westward into Europe, while others ventured eastward into Central Asia and eventually China. One of the most significant genetic markers used to trace these migrations is the Y chromosome haplogroup, which is inherited from fathers. Haplogroup R, for example, is commonly found in European and South Asian populations, while haplogroup O is dominant in East Asia. One of the most intriguing migration events occurred around 15,000 to 20,000 years ago, when humans crossed the Bering Land Bridge from Siberia into North America. These early migrants, known as the ancestors of Native Americans, gradually moved southward, eventually reaching as far as the southern tip of South America. Genetic studies have linked many indigenous groups in the Americas to haplogroup Q and C, which are also found in some Siberian populations today. Interestingly, not all migrations were one-way journeys. Recent genetic research suggests that there were multiple waves of back migrations into Africa. For example, around 3,000 years ago, groups of people from the Middle East moved back into North and East Africa, introducing new genetic variations and technologies such as farming practices to the region. One well-documented case is the spread of the Afro-Asiatic language family, which includes Ancient Egyptian, Berber, and Semitic languages like Arabic and Hebrew. Another fascinating discovery is the genetic legacy of now extinct human relatives, such as the Neanderthals and Denisovans. When modern humans migrated into Europe and Asia, they encountered and interbred with these archaic hominids. As a result, many non-African populations today carry small amounts of Neanderthal DNA, while some groups in Southeast Asia and Oceania have traces of Denisovan ancestry. The rise of humanity was shaped by adaptation and survival. As early humans migrated to new environments, they developed unique traits to cope with different climates and challenges. For instance, the Inuit people of the Arctic evolved genetic adaptations that helped them process high-fat diets, while people living in high altitudes, such as the Sherpa of the Himalayas and the Andean populations of South America, have genetic changes that allow them to thrive in low oxygen conditions. Thanks to modern genetic research, we are continuously learning more about our shared past. Studies on ancient DNA extracted from fossils have helped reconstruct the migration routes of early humans in even greater detail, allowing us to understand how different populations came into contact, mixed, and influenced one another. So, while we may look different and speak different languages today, we all share a common origin. Humanity's journey from Africa to every other part of the world is a testament to our ability to adapt, innovate, and thrive. By studying our genetic past, we can better appreciate the connections that bind us all together as one species. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue exploring the wonders of human history and science, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and like always, keep exploring the wonders of science and take care.